Welcome back, everyone. My name is Matt Case Jr. with Case Farms Agronetic Seed Service. Today we're going to be going over the 4650 and 1780. This tractor has been our workhorse for planting 15-inch soybeans. It's a 30-foot wide bar. It's a 1223 1780, so we can plant. It depends on the ground and it depends on how hard it is, but it has no-till wavy coulters on it, and I like to operate around 5.5 miles an hour. I like to make sure I'm doing a good job and getting the seeds on moisture. A lot of people like to go fast. There's a time and a place to go fast. There really is. And when you're no-tilling into this much, say a 250 bushel no-till field like this, and you're planting into it, there's a lot of corn stover here. So I like to back it down to that 5 miles per hour and make sure that I'm doing a good job. So that being said, 187 horsepower from the engine. You're getting about 165 from the PTO. And yeah, this has been our workhorse for a long time. And before this, we were running a 15-foot wide 750 drill. Well, we were running two at once. So we were running two 750s. So if you had two going at once, we were capable of doing 30 feet wide of beans. This 1780 is a Bauer built frame, and it's got John Deere row units on it. It's a beast of a planter, and it's got 3 bushel baskets on it. So when it's fully loaded, it is heavy, and it just wants everything that the tractor can provide to it. So a 30 feet wide at 5.5 miles per hour, you're able to get at 100% efficiency, 20 acres an hour. In real life, you take 20% off of that and you're operating at about 80% efficiency. Why? Well, you got to turn on the headlands. You got to consider reloading or refilling. And also just getting out and checking over the planter, checking the closing wheels, checking the gauge wheels, just looking over the planter, getting out, digging, checking your furrow, making sure you're putting the soybeans on moisture. So that cuts down on efficiency. So that brings you down into that 80% range for efficiency, which brings you down into that 16 acres an hour. Let's check this thing out. I'm gonna fire it up. I'm gonna raise up the 1780. I'm gonna do my preliminary checks to make sure it's ready to plant. So come along with me and we'll check it out. Before I start the 4650 up, I just wanted to tell you a little bit about it. The tractor, this 4650 was produced between 1983 and 1988, and the SoundGuard cab was first introduced in 1972. So it was pretty much ahead of its time, in my opinion. I'm a little biased because I've always grown up with John Deere tractors. I love John Deere. However, my wife and I are going a different route. SoundGuard is John Deere's, I guess, registered trademark name for the cab. Technology at its finest, as far as what you get to be an enclosed tractor. So SoundGuard means that you're not deaf after driving the tractor, or before this series came out, the SoundGuard, it was just an open station tractor. You're out in the dust, out in the environment. And when the SoundGuard came out, everybody wanted them. The 4430, when that came out, I think the original list price was, I just heard it from an older farmer that he's still farming today. God bless him. He's such a strong man, 80 years old, and he's still farming. He said that, when the 4430 first came out, it was $15,000. And it was like shortly thereafter, you know, I think it was a few years later, the cost of the 4430 went up to 25,000. So they were backed up, and everybody wanted them because it had a cab on it. So they're just cool looking. I mean, it's kind of bittersweet because I know I'm going to be moving into a beautiful cab. Kelly and I have worked extremely hard to get to this point, to a newer tractor, and but I'll always love these tractors. This cab came out, and the 4650 was in production from 1983 to 1988, and I'm pretty positive this is a 1985. So I'm gonna start it up, and I'm gonna raise the planter up. I'm gonna inspect the 1780 planter, and then get to putting some soybeans on moisture. This is your throttle. This is a power shift. This is a number 1 SCV. This is number 2 SCV, number 3 SCV. This runs your vacuum. This runs your markers. And this raises your up and down. And this raises your 3-point hitch. So if you look behind you, that lowers and raises. You use that for different types of implements. So I'm gonna give this some RPMs, and we're gonna raise the 1780 planter up, and we're gonna go over the row units and make sure it's ready to plant. All right, I'm gonna check out all the wavy coulters, see if all the bearings are good on the wavy coulters, and then I'm gonna check the wishbones to make sure. The wishbones are what keep down pressure down on your row units. And then I'm gonna check closing wheels and gauge wheels, but I'll show you the seed. Closing wheel system. So once the true V cuts a nice furrow, creates a nice true V, the seed goes down, and then this is the closing system. This is what closes the seed in. So you don't want the seed, you don't want the trench left open, because then the seed, you know, the moisture will dry out and your seeds won't grow. That's light pressure, heavier, more heavy, heaviest. You go to heaviest when you're mudding it in. You don't want to mud it in. All right, you see these? These are your gauge wheels. When you set this, this is what allows you to how deep you're going. How deep do you want the seed? Right now, we're going semi deeper than we would in, say, in the beginning of the season. We're trying to find moisture. So, if you take a look here, that is how deep your seed will go. If you see those two blades, that is how deep the seed is gonna go. Shallow, you raise it up. Now watch how deep it goes. That's it. Barely goes in the ground at all. All right, I'll show you real deep. This is as deep as it goes. See how deep that goes? That's if you're really trying to find moisture. but you'd be in a severe drought if you wanted to go that deep. So right here, with how warm it is,